Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the record and report. So what is the meaning of record and report when it comes to the hospital side, when it comes to the any educational side? So that time we are maintaining some record and reports which are so much important. So we will see what is which is the definition and what is the meaning of that. First of all, before seeing the in detail, we will see some terminologies are there. So we'll see that in that first one, standing order. So what do you mean by that? So standing order are the direction and the orders of the specific nature. So here what it means, on the basis in non-availability of doctor and the nurses and the health workers provide the treatment to the patient at home, hospital and the health institute and the community. So standing order are the one kind of instruction or one kind of information which we are getting from the doctors when they are not available surrounding the unit or something. It's like when the patient is admitted in the hospital and some emergency arises, or that time doctors are not available or the nurses are not available. So what they do, they will, in the non-availability of the medical personnel, they will talk with the doctors and they will take some orders regarding the patient condition, regarding the patient treatment. Okay. So that is what standing orders are, the direction and the orders of specific nature. So they will be giving certain kind of direction in that they will show us that you have to do this thing according to like this. Okay. So on the basis in the non-availability of the doctors, when the doctors are not available, nurses and the health workers, they are not available, that time they will provide some treatment. So at home, so it will be like at home also we can give the care, then at a hospital or the health institution and the community. So that is what the meaning of the standing order. When the doctors and any health person are not available, that time we are taking some guidance from them. Now the family folder. Now what is meaning of that? So it provides the essential and the complete information about the family, to complete the information about the family to the community health nurse to plan, to organize, implement the nursing care to the family. So here what happens, what is the meaning of family folder? So family folder is one kind of the paper, or we can say it is a piece of information which contains the information regarding the family. Okay, so the patients, we need to take a detailed history of the family also. Okay, so that time they will, one format has will be given. One example I will give. So this is one kind of family folder is there. So here they will be writing the data of the family members. So by that also some hereditary condition are there, any chromosomal abnormality are there, or something which condition are passes from the hereditary. So we can get the certain kind of information from the family folder also. So in that they will be adding or they will be including all the details regarding the family also. So which is really needed when it comes to the patient care. So that time if the nurses or the doctor have the family history, so that time it will help them to formulate the care plan, that what kind of care has to be given for the patient. If we talk about the diabetes, so sometimes the diabetes come from the first line relatives or the siblings also. So that time this kind of information helps to understand the condition very in a better way. Okay, and even though it will help us to formulate the plan for the patient and the to the family also. So this is about the family folder. Here you can see they have written about certain information has been given on this paper. Here you can see type of family, which religion is there, then after type of house, room, kitchen, then fuel, ventilation, then after the bathroom, then lighting, drainage system, water supply, toilet, then disposable of waste. So this kind of string things will be written in the family folder. So by that also they will be knowing the condition. Then after the, what is the meaning of the record? So what is a record? It is a written communication relevant to a client's health care and the management. So record, it means it is a permanent written thing on the paper which will be related to the patient care also or the nursing services also. Okay, so it is a continuing account of the client's healthcare need. So that will be regarding the patient care also. So they will be writing every events which is happening day to day life. Okay, so they will be writing, okay, this kind of patient has got this kind of treatment. So they will be writing everything, but that is a written form. It will be in a written format. So that is the meaning of the record. Now we'll be talking about the informed consent. Now what is the meaning of taking consent? So it is a person's agreement to allow something to happen based on the full disclosure of the fact needed to make intelligent decision. So here what we are doing, as we know that sometime we take the consent, not sometime, we will take the consent from the relatives when we are going for any surgery or something. When patient is going for any surgery, we are informing the relatives that we are going to take your patient in this operation, and we need your consent, that you are giving permission to do this any surgical intervention. Okay, so that is what here you are taking the permission from the relatives. So what the simple I will show you how the consent form will be. So here they will be writing the name and the date will be there. Okay, and what kind of procedure are there, the content will be written over here. Okay, then after who is giving the permission. Okay, so the signature and the name and everything will be written. So the consent must be given voluntarily by a mentally competent adult. So now who can give the consent? The one who is a mentally competent, who is really conscious and who understand everything. Okay, the one who is suffering from any emotional trauma or something, we will not take certain kind of consent from them. Okay, the one who is emotionally and mentally healthy, from them only we will take the consent. Then after, incident report. So incident report is a field when something arises that can or did cause an injury which was not dealt with the good care. So the detailed incident report should be given by a particular staff or to person. So now here what is the meaning of incident report? When something happens in the unit or in the hospital, okay, maybe we are taking care, but sometimes something happens which is not good. Okay, because of that event, maybe patient get injury. So this is if something has happened to the patient, so that time we are making one incident report. In that we will be writing in detail what actually happened with the patient by any negligence from the nurses or something. Okay, so by that also it can happen, but mentioning this event is so much important when it comes to the patient. When they are admitted into the hospital and something happens like this, make sure you are reporting that, we are making one report and you are filing with the incident report. Okay, then after, in that also you have to inform to your superior that this kind of things happen. If I'll give one example, if patient is in a bed and patient is a bedridden patient, okay, and the patient is not able to do the daily activity by themselves, maybe the side rails are there that is not up from one side. Okay, so maybe patient fall from the bed to the floor. Okay, so maybe this happened because of the negligence of the nursing care. So if like this events happen, so make sure you are writing one report. In that you are going to write detailed incidents from A to Z you are going to write, and you are going to inform to the superior. So that is about the incident report. Okay, then after the, what is the meaning of the contract? So a contract is a written or the oral agreement between the two people in which there is a mention of the goods or the services exchange. So most probably contract used to happen between the two people or between the two parties. It can be the one who is giving the agreement, or the one who wants to take the services. Okay, so most probably it happens between the mostly two people. Okay, so in that they will mention about the goods or something they are agreed to buy something. Okay, or otherwise they are ready to give the services to the people. So between the two people or between the two parties, between it can be from between two person and person, otherwise person and the institution, otherwise we can say the person and the organization also. So like that agreement or the contract used to happen. So like this contract agreement will be there. This is simply one example is there. So they will be the two parties, whatever they have came on the solution or something, or they have taken some agreement, they will be enlisting that everything. Okay, then the both the signature from the both the parties they will be doing. Okay. Now what is the meaning of the documentation? In the medical records, it provides the only creditable proof in the court to prove the appropriate care was given and the standard care was met with. Now what is the meaning of the documentation? So in medical record, what is that? So it provides only proof, creditable proof, that sometime it happens when patient got injury or patient got some terminal illness or something because of the nurse's care or some medical care negligence. Okay, so what happens, maybe the relative is going to file the case against the nursing care, otherwise against the hospital. So that time if we have certain kind of proof in our hand, we can show them that we have given certain kind of care and we have maintained the standard of care which is already prescribed by the hospital or the organization. So like this documentation will be help in the legal aspect also. Now what is the meaning of the patient care standard? So these are the guide for the collaborative practice responding the predicted care requirement for the patient. Okay, so when it patient care standard, when it comes to the hospital or the any organization, they have some standards that I'll show what kind of. So some principle has been given, standards, principles we can say same. So dignity and respect, compassion, then responsive care and the support, well-being. So sometime this kind of standard will be set from the hospital. They have their own standard that they want to maintain while the patient come for the any care. Okay, when they are ill and they come in the hospital, that time we have to maintain the respect, dignity, confidentiality. So this kind of standard of care has to be maintained while giving the nursing care also. So that is what. So they are based on the analytic and the problem solving assessment, planning, intervention and the evaluation. So the standard how you will make, so that has to be on the analysis. You have to do the analysis that what kind of standard has to be there inside the premises of the hospital. Okay, then you should have the proper planning also and the intervention and the evaluation also. So if you are making this all the standard, make sure you are doing proper planning, you are implementing also, and whatever you have formulated standard, whether they are being useful for the patient and the family members or the relatives or not, that evaluation also you have to do. Then another, that is a field review. Now what is that? So it is a method appraisal of the worker is done by the personnel officer by the collecting oral rating about them from the supervisor at the place of the work. So here what it means, that field review. So here we are talking about the one employee is working in a one place or in a one unit or in a one ward. So that time there will be the supervisor. So what is the function of the, or what is the role of the supervisor? They will be looking after over the employee, those who are working in the that particular department. So they will see whether they are maintaining certain rules and regulation and the discipline, whether they are maintaining or not. And even though they will do the performance appraisal, so by that also they will do the comparison with the standards what already has been prescribed with that. So the person, the officer later writes his notes and invite the supervisor to make addition or the correction. So here what happens, the supervisor, they will do the supervision, or they will have their observation regarding the work which has been done by from the employees. So they will be writing one note that that this person or this employee has done this work during this period of time. So they will be writing one note. So that is what the field review. So here the example has been given, leadership, the dimension has been prescribed, communication, then after the interpersonal skills, decision making, technical skills, motivation. So this all the criteria or the dimension will be different according to the different department. Now protocol. Now what is the meaning of protocol? So a protocol is a written plan specifying the procedure to be followed during the care of the client with a selected clinical condition or the situation. So protocol, it means we can say some certain kind of rules and regulation, we can also say. So here I have taken one example of the COVID protocol. So as we know, in the COVID time we should wear the mask, we should do the hand, sanitize our hand, then we have to do the hand washing properly, we have to maintain the distance. So this all the things which is has been highlighted, that is known as a protocol. So certain situation will be there, or any condition will be there, they will be writing some plan which has to be followed by the patient also, then after relatives, the nurses, the health personnel, otherwise the community. So that has to be followed by the everyone. So that is known as a protocol. Okay, now we'll be talking about the introduction of the records and the reports. So till now we have seen the different terminologies. Now introduction, in that documentation is the process of communicating in the written form about the essential fact for the maintenance of continuous history of the events over a period of time. Now what is the meaning of the documentation? It means that it is a process of communicating. It means what happens, whatever the events happen surrounding us, we are maintaining that events in the form of the written. Okay, so what happens when the another person comes and they will see that report, they will be understanding, okay, so this kind of things has happened, or this event already has been happened or organized. So like that, it is a means of the way of the communication. Now record and reporting are the other way of the documentation. So that is also one type of the documentation, that is the records and the report. So now we'll be talking about individually. Record is a permanent written communication that document information relevant to a client's healthcare management. So record, it means that it is a permanent written statement. So here we are, if something has happened, if something any care has been given to the patient, what we'll be doing, we will be maintaining in the written form. So we that written form will be stored permanently. Okay, so that is known as the records. So which things or which statement will be used for a permanent or for any future prospect also can be used. Okay, so that is known as the records. Now we'll be talking about the report. So means all the documents, facilities, evaluation of the program and provide continuity from the time to time institution is established. So here what is the meaning of report? So report can be orally also, or it can be written also. Okay, but in that we will be writing about the particular events. Okay, but records will be different and the report also will be different. We will see later on. Now meaning of the records and the report. Now what is meaning of that? So record and reports are a practical and indispensable aid to doctor, nurses, paramedical personnel in giving the best possible services to the individual, family and to the community. So record and the reports, both the things are so much important in the means of the communication also, and the in the means of communication, even though to give the best possible care for the patient. So it will help to doctors also, nurses also and the paramedical personnel also. So by that they can use that record and report, and they can formulate the plan and they can give the best possible care for the patient. for patient also, individual, family, and the community also. Now the documentation is important in the healthcare today. So it is so much important. Whatever if we go at any hospital, they will have a several kind of papers. Why that papers is so much important? Because they will be containing each detail of the patient also, and even though what kind of care the patient has received, everything they will be writing in that single paper, so that all the papers, piece of paper or piece of information known as a documentation. Okay, so documentation is defined as anything written or the presented that is relied on as a record of proof for authorized person. So that is what the record, the piece of paper or piece of information known as a record of proof. Okay, so that has to be used for any ethical purpose or legal aspect also if happens in a future. So that is from the authorized person. A medical record should be comprehensive declaration of the individual, family and community health status and the need, as well as the services provided to for a client care. So medical records. So medical records, it will be containing every detail from the of the patient also. Okay, so if the patient has admitted on any date, from admission to discharge, each and every event they will be writing in the file. Okay, so that is known as the medical records. Now, records fact have a value and scientific accuracy for more than mere impression of memory, and these are guidelines for the better administration of family health services. So what happens, it means that when the patient comes in the hospital, that time they will be doing several kind of tests. Okay, blood test, they will be doing any x-ray or any sonography, everything they will be doing. So that is a piece, that is a set of information which they will be including in the file. Okay, so that is known as the medical records. Okay, so that is not the every nurses won't be able to remember all the detailed history of the patient. Okay, so that's why this is not just memory, but this is a more than a scientific fact which we are storing for the patient. Then records are the means of communication between the health workers and the family. So that is a means of communication between whom? Health workers and the family, the one who is working, medical person and the family members. For example, any health or the socio-economical problem observed by the health worker during home visit is recorded, which may require the attention of the doctor or other member of the health team. So what happens when the when we go for the home visit, that time if we find out any kind of problem or any difficulty, we make sure we are writing if it is related to the socio-economical status. Okay, so we will be writing in the paper that this patient is not able to purchase or they are not able to have some medication. So what we will do, we will go to our center or any our medical center. We will go and we will make sure that this person is suffering from this kind of illness, but they are not able to have the facilities. Okay, so like that also you can help them. So that is what here you are going to maintain. Whatever the events you have seen, you are going to write everything and you are going to give the report to the doctors. Now, family records serve as a guide to nursing care as they are major practical tool today in community health practices. So here we are talking about the family records. So as I have told earlier, family records or taking the family history is so much important to understand the condition of patient also. Okay, because in that what we will do, some condition or some diseases are there which will be carried out from the generation to generation. So if we want to understand the morphology of disease or something, that time we need to understand which is the origin. So that's why family history play an important role in the medical field. Then consumerism, then accountability and the quality assurance play a vital role on the legal written documents. So consumerism, it means that the review which you take from the customer or from the patient, that is also so much important. Then after the accountability, it means that some work has been allotted to you and you are accountable or you are responsible to fulfill that particular work. So that is known as accountability. And the quality assurance. Quality assurance, it means that if we talk about any hospital or any organization, they have some quality which they have to maintain while they give the care to the patient. So this three dimension, or we can say this three dimension or aspect, play an important role. Okay, on the legal written documents, it is necessary to have adequate records to records the care provided and the other information which will help to assess and improve the quality of care given. Okay, so why we are maintaining this all the records? Because we want to improve our care also, because it is not necessary that every hospital are giving 100% of care. Maybe some at some point of view, at some point they will be lacking also. So that 2% or 3% lacking point we have to improve. So that's why this all the documentation which we have to do the periodically evaluation, take the review from customer also or from the patient also, from even though the workers, those who are working, or the employees, those who are working in the organization. So this all will help in future to improve the quality care of the patient. Then after, records have been shown not only help to ensure effective service, but at the same time to save the efforts and money. So here, whatever the records we are maintaining, that not only help to improve the quality care, but also it is going to help the to save some time also and the efforts also. Maybe some work is there which has to be done from the many people, but when we are trying to understand that work, so that time the quality of work and everything is going to be increased and improved, and the money also will be saved. The doctor who knows what has to be done before and can plan his therapy wisely and effectively. So sometimes happens when we go at the hospital and doctor knows that this kind of test is not important or not necessary for patient to do. Okay, so that time they can, if they have certain kind of evaluation skills, so that time they can reduce efforts also, and they can save the money of the patient also. Okay, so like that they can plan their therapy wisely and effectively. Then records and reports express and presenting the fact. Records means record is the written presentation of the information. So record, it means that is a written presentation of the information. Patient's client record is a brief account of the personal and the medical history of the patient, result of the diagnostic test, finding of the medical examination, treatment and nursing care. Daily progress note are to be recorded. So here we are going to talk about the patient's clinical record. So in clinical record, they will be containing all the detail from discharge to the from admission to discharge. So it will be containing like what is the history of the patient, then after which all the diagnostic test, blood test or any ultrasound or any MRI they have done. So it will be containing that information also. Then medical, then the findings of the medical examination. If the doctor has done any examination, it will contain that detail also. Then after the treatment, what kind of treatment has patient has got from the hospital, so it will be containing that details also. Then after the nursing care, so they will be writing the nursing care plan also. Otherwise they will be writing from shift, the nurses will be writing from 8 to 2 if they have done their duty. So they will be writing what they have done from 8 to 9, 9 to 10. Okay, so all the history, all detailed history or detailed information you can get. Then after, a record is a permanent written communication that documents information relevant to the client's healthcare management. So here record, here we are talking about the record which is related to the patient care. Okay, so they will be permanent written communication. If we want to check any detail, or if any thing happens, any legal thing happens, so that time we want to check the previous notes also. So what happens if we are maintaining or storing the detail or file of the patient, so we can review and we can understand also, okay, we have given this care. Okay, so that can be used for the future aspect also. So health record give information about the activities carried out and the achievement. So in that also information about the activity, whatever the activity has been done from the doctors, all the nurses, it will contain that also, and the whatever the achievements they have done, they can also write in that. Now we will talk about the definition of the records. Now what is the definition of the record? So records are written formal, legal, individual, family and the community. It may provide information about the personal, socio-economical, psychological environment and the health. So record, it means that it is a written format. It is a written format which in that they will be writing every detail about the patient. It can be like socio-economical also, psychological environment also, and the overall health of the person. So that is also one definition of the record. Here another definition of record also has been given. It is a fact or the figure arranged in a logical order that a new worker may be able to maintain continuity if the service to the individual, families and the communities. So here what it means of the records, it is one kind of fact or the figures. Okay, it can be fact like whatever the events will be regarding to the nursing care. Okay, so what happens here, we are going to maintain this all the statement and whatever the detailed history is there, we are going to maintain in a logical manner. Okay, so if we are writing clearly, so what happens when any new member comes, any new worker comes, if they read that statement, they will be understand that okay, this kind of care patient has got and I need to do further investigation or further things I have to do. So they will be understand and they will be able to maintain the continuity also. Okay, if we want to give the care for the patient, otherwise individual or the family. Then another definition is there. A record or the documentation is defined as anything that is written or printed that is relied on as a record of proof for authorized person. So it means that something which is written or the printed form, it will be in a two kind of form. It is a written also or the printed also. That is that will be rely on the or depended on the record of proof, that is known as a record of proof for the authorized person. So this kind of person has admitted in this hospital and they have this all the medical history. So that kind of all the history or all information known as a record also. It is a written communication that permanently documents information relevant to the client's healthcare management and its continuity account of the client healthcare needed. Now the definition of report. Till now we have talked about the record. Now we will talk about the report. What is the meaning of the definition of the report? So report offers a summary. So here we are talking about the report. So the report can be orally also, or it can be like summary. We are giving the summarization to the someone, or we are writing in the paper. Okay. So reports offer a summary of activity or the observation seen, performed or the heard is exchanged among the healthcare team members and client and the family members. So here the what it means that report, it is we are giving summary of the activity, whatever the activity has been done, we are giving some idea of that particular event to someone else, like the any healthcare profession. So here they are going to exchange the ideas also. Okay, and whatever we have seen, we will be telling to the other. Then after, report is a oral, otherwise a written account by one member to another in the health team, which include the end of the shift handing over a report. So here also when shift is changing, or one shift is over and another shift start, So what happened, one nurse or one nurse will be giving the over to the another nurse. Okay, so in that also they will be telling, and they will be sharing all the details of the patient. So like if the nurse has came for the morning duty like 8 to 2, so what that she has done from 8 to 2, she will be telling to the next shift nurse. Okay, so like that it can be orally also, otherwise it can be written also. So reports will be like this. A report summarize that service of the nurses or the agency. So that is what the summary, or we can say the briefing of the activities. Reports may be in the form of analysis of some aspect of a services, and reports are usually written daily, weekly, monthly and the yearly. So reports will be like they will be writing daily also, otherwise weekly, monthly and the yearly. Now the importance of the record. What is the importance of the records? Why this is so much important? So it provide fact of the health services. Why? Because this is we are going to store for a long time, right? So if something happen in the future, any legal thing happens, any case file are there against the hospital or the nurses or doctors, so that time they can use this information, that fact, for saving themselves. Okay, so that's why it provide the fact. Then after, it provide a basis for analysis needs and direct towards the goal achievement. So it is this record we can use for the quality assurance also, like we can do the assessment, and by that we can improve the standard of the nursing care also. So whatever the goal are there we can achieve, because every organization or any hospital, they have their own goal, mission and the mission, right? So they will be achieving by reviewing this all the things. Then after, provide a basis for short and long term planning. This also going to help for the planning. If you want to do the planning for 1 month or a year or something, so that is a short period of planning we can say, or a long term, it can be 5 year or 10 year or for the 20 years. So how we can do this planning? By basis of this all the information. If we have the document in our hand, we can do the review and we can do the changes, or we can do the modification for the better prospect. It prevents duplication of services and help to follow up service effectively. So it happens, maybe if I'll give one example. If one nurse has came for the morning duty, she has already sent a blood sample for the patient. Okay, so maybe she forgot to tell to the another shift, or she forgot to write in a paper, she forgot to do the documentation. So what happened, next shift nurse will come and she will also going to send the samples. So this happens, the duplication of work. So if we want to avoid such kind of things, so if we want to avoid this all the things, we have to do proper documentation. So this will help in that also, and helps to follow up service effectively. So follow up in the sense of, if the morning nurse has if morning shift nurse has sent the reports, so what happens, the noon or afternoon or next shift nurse has to take the follow up, like whether the test result has came or not, like that. So this will help in that also. Then after, it helps the nurses to evaluate the care and teaching which she has given. So here what happens, the nurses they can do the self evaluation by themselves also, whether they have given the particular care for the patient or not, and teaching which she has given. So she will understand, okay, I have given this all this care. Maybe she will understand, okay, I forgot to give the medication, or I forgot to do this particular procedure for this patient. So if we are maintaining all the all whatever the activity the nurses has done, if they are writing everything, they will be able to understand the thing which they have missed. So it enables the nurses to judge the quality and quantity of work done also. By that also they will understand what kind of quality of care she has given for the patient, and what kind of care she has not given also she will understand. Then it serves as a guide to personal growth. So it can be used as a positive aspect also, like if nurses want to know what is the positive points and what is the negative point for herself. Okay, so by that they can review their everyday activity, what she is doing for the patient. Okay, whatever activity she is doing, whether it is being benefit for the patient or not, that is also important to know. Okay, so by that also she can do the professional growth also, or the personal growth also can be helped. Then after, records help to become aware of and recognize their health needs of the individual and the family. If you are maintaining proper health records or something, by that we will able to understand actual what is the need, whether they need to do this all the test or not, or whether they need this all the care which you have planned. Okay, so they will be helping in that also. Then after, records can be used as a teaching tool to individual and the family. So if you are maintaining certain records, that records you can use for a teaching purpose also. Okay, if you patient is going at home and they have to check the RBS by themselves. Okay, if you teach them, they can also learn. Okay, and you tell them that you have to do the charting also. Okay, so you can use record as a tool for teaching also. Then the record serves as a guide for a diagnosis, treatment and evaluation for the doctors. So it proven as a guide also, how it can help to diagnose, to understand or to know which kind of disease is there. Then after, treatment, what kind of treatment has to be given, and the evaluation also. Then after, the record help identify the families needing service as those prepared to accept the help. Then the record help the supervisor evaluate the service rendered, teaching done, and person's action and the reaction. So it is also going to help to do the supervisor, as like they can do the evaluation that what kind of services has been given. Then after, what kind of teaching or what kind of education you have given for the patient. Then after, person actions, what action was there if you have given the any teaching you have given, and what the feedback the patient, otherwise the family has given to you, and the reaction also you can write. So this is all the importance of the records. Now we are going to talk about the reports. What is the importance of the reports? Complete report establish the nurse's accountability in being sure that client care is uninterrupted. So what happens if you are writing your care plan or your nurse's note properly? So what happens, it will help to the next in charge or next nurses to give the continuity of care. If you're not writing properly care plan or any nurse's note properly, so what happens, the next nurse or anyone will be not able to understand whether this nurse has given the care or not. Okay, so continuity will be disturbed. So by that, patient is going to suffer. Then it provides a baseline for comparison during the next shift. So it will also help to do the comparison from the two shift, from one shift to another shift. So they will be able to understand, okay, this nurse has given this all the services, so maybe next shift nurse, she no need to give this. So it helps to understand the comparison also. Then it shares a significant information about the family member as it relates to the client's problem. So it is related to client problem only, so it by that you will be able to understand, okay, this all the thing is remaining for them, so you can give the treatment or you can do the planning accordingly. Then it relied to staff significant changes in the way therapy are given. So even though they can change their way of giving therapy also. Okay, so they can use any different therapies, by that patient will be benefit. Then it evaluates the result of nursing and the medical care of the measures. So by using the reports, what happens, it can evaluate the result of the nursing and medical care of the measures. So whatever the nursing care has been given, they can do the evaluation also. Okay. Then it describes the instruction given in a teaching plan and client's family and the community response. So it is a describing, we are describing the instruction. So in report what will be there, the series of event or series of activities we will be writing, we will be describing each event, whatever the single component are there of that event, we will be writing in that. Okay, so that's why it is so much important, and anyone can rely on the report. They will just read it if it is in a written form or a printed form. If someone will say, so it is also going to help. Okay, now the purpose of recording. Now how what is the purpose of doing this recording? In that, first one is the communication. So the record is a means by the which healthcare team member and communicable and the contribute to health of the individual, family and the community. So in the means of communication, so it is the sharing the information. So that is also one meaning of the communication. Here you are communicating or telling something or giving some information to the another person. Okay, so that another person can be family member also, relatives also, otherwise any healthcare team member also. Okay, so here you are going to share that all the information which is related to the patient care. Okay, so that is so much important if you share with the other because this is so much important, because they are also going to they are going to work with the patient. So first one is a communication, then second one is a financial billing. The client care record is a document that shows the extent to which healthcare agency should be reimbursed for the services. It is a client bill. So it means that it is also one kind of recording, billing. Okay, so the client care record is a document that shows the extent to which healthcare agency should be reimbursed. It means that we are paying back. So there will be some health insurance as we talk about. So in health insurance what happens, in health insurance they will be paying, the agencies will be there, they will be paying or repaying the amount which has been spent on the patient. Okay, so that's why financial billing also work as a important as a record. Then after educational, the record contains variety of information, education, so including medical and the nursing diagnosis. It will be including what kind of information, like medical and nursing diagnosis, then signs and symptoms of the diseases, the successful and unsuccessful therapy, diagnostic finding, client behavior. Okay, so here we are talking about the education. So in education they will be understanding, or they will be studying about the disease. So in disease they will know what is the definition, what kind of signs and symptoms will be there for, and what kind of treatment will be useful for the particular disease. Okay, so they will be, all the detail will be included in the educational site. Then student of the nursing, medicine and other health related disciplines use this record as a educational resources. As we talk about the books are the information which is written permanently. Okay, and we can use for the future prospect also. It's like the number of details or number of information has been has been published in a book. So what happens, the students will be reviewing that, they will be understanding, and they can use for their goal achievement also. So that is what the educational. So they can work as a resources also. Then after the assessment, the record provides the data that nurses uses to identify and support the nursing diagnosis. So what it provide, the data or the information, by that they can identify also, and they can formulate or support the nursing diagnosis also, and plan the proper investigation of care. So they can do proper investigation, or by that then they can make the proper planning. Then information from the record adds to the nursing observation and assess. So what happens, they can use they can review this all the records or whatever the information has been there, they can use that and they can make their observation. Okay, if this thing has been done in this way, so it can be the result will be good. So like that they can do the assessment by using all the records. Then after the research, statistical data relating to the frequency, clinical disorder, complication, then use of specific medical and nursing therapies, deaths, and the recovery from the illness can be gathered from the client's records. So here we are talking about the research. So for doing something research, it means that you are finding something every time, new thing you are finding, right? So for finding that thing origin or what is a fundamental thing, we also should have some fact or something. So by the research we can gather some facts and ideas. Okay, so for that also we should have some records. If we don't have records, if we don't have information, we can't do the research. Okay, so for that also it is so much important for the research purpose. Then after auditing and the monitoring. So a regular review of the information in client record gives a basis for evaluation of the quality and appropriateness of the care provided in the institution. So auditing and the monitoring, it means it is a one kind of reviewing regularly. So periodically you have to do the review or the monitoring of the particular information. Okay, in the sense of the client records. So by that you can improve the quality care also. Then after legal administration, so a medical record must be accurate because it is a legal documents. Okay, so when the patient come in the hospital, that time we have to maintain this all records very neatly, okay, and very accurately we have to maintain. Why? Because this is the legal document. If something happens to that patient or something, so that each word which you will be writing in the file, they can use as evidence also. So make sure you are writing everything that has to be very accurate information. So accurate documentation is one of the best defense for a legal claim associated with the nursing care. So that's why it has written, if you're writing accurate details or accurate documentation, you can use that as a proof or as a evidence that you have given this care. So whatever, it's not like you are writing anything in the patient's file, no, which is related to the patient condition and which you have done the care or which you have given the care, that only you have to write in the patient file.